So he stopped her going to America, and uh, she fell pregnant, I think, quite soon after that. And I can't remember if they lived together or if she stayed with me while she was pregnant. They might have lived together. I'm not 100% sure that I can't remember, but they were backwards and forwards. It was a bit chaotic. So I think when my niece was born, after my niece was born, they broke up, and he got another girlfriend and she got another boyfriend. And this did not stay this way, but I'll tell you why it didn't stay this way. So she seemed to be very in love with this new boyfriend, and so everything was great. I was looking after my niece, and my niece would go to her father's house, and he was living with his father and his mother, the ones that we went on holiday with. And the one day I went to collect my niece, and when I got home, I turned around and saw that she was in floods of tears, just tears running down her face, and she was holding on to her private area. And I just said to her, "What is wrong?" And she said, "So and so hurt." She called it her banjo. I don't know, I think it's a Northern Irish word. "So and so hurt my banjo." So I immediately turned to the front of the car and thought, oh my gosh, I just hope this is not true. But to me, from what she said and the way she was, really, really crying, there was an immediate problem. There was no black and white, maybe, maybe not. Like, you know, there was an issue. And, by my niece's reaction and from what she said, there wasn't much to negotiate or misunderstand. There wasn't, how could you misunderstand that? How did he hurt her? That's what I thought we would investigate. How did he hurt her? What happened? And I thought we would go into more details with my niece and get to the bottom of it. So I ran into the house. I got my sister and I got her into the car, and I said, "This is what my niece has said to me. Please, let's try and get to the bottom of this." And my sister went berserk. Like, I have no idea why she had such a violent reaction, but she did. She went berserk and she said, "Nothing's happened. This didn't happen." Like, I don't even remember what she said, but it was just a knee jerk reject this reaction. Like, not even going to discuss it. And to me, this was a shock, because if it was my child, I would want to know. I would be like, oh my gosh, let's go inside and talk about this. Let's go inside and ask my niece what's happened. How did this happen? How did he hurt her? This is what I thought would happen. So my sister ran back into the house and she started telling my parents what was going on. And fear overtook me as well because of her reaction. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I took my niece inside, and my parents started jumping down my throat. And, my father was like, "Have you ever been abused?" And I was like, that is a random question. Uh, yeah. And it was just a just such a bad reaction. Honestly, not the reaction I was expecting. I was expecting, like I said, just to go get to the bottom of it, to say he's never getting her again, and that would have been the end of it. That would have been the end of it. But we're now 40 or 10 years down the line, and my life has been made a living hell because of my family's reaction. And I didn't understand my family's reaction at the time, but now I fully understand it. Now I understand why there was such a violent reaction. So anyway, I said to my niece in private, "Would you please let me know if this ever happens again, if so and so ever hurts you again?" So of course, my sister had no issues. There was no issues. So she kept going back to her father's and her grandfather's. And in hindsight, I honestly wish I'd dropped it as well, because honestly, my life would be 100% better. But me being me, this was an issue. So I said to my niece in private, "Please tell me if there's any more issues. If there's anything else, just tell me." So I continued to get reports. I continued to see my niece's bizarre behavior, which my family completely ignored. She would hide her dolls all over the house. And to me, that was like hiding herself. She would just hide them, constantly be hiding them. I know some people might say, oh, well, little kids hide dolls. Yeah. But just, when you're looking at your niece, very stressed out, hiding these dolls, trying to protect these dolls. The other thing, I caught her masturbating the one day. And when I was like in so much shock, I said, oh, I can't say, I'm trying to not to say names and it's so hard. I said, oh, what's going on? And she just crawled into my arms and just sobbed, absolutely sobbed. What else have I seen with her? She would have the most horrific nightmares. And because she slept with me every night, I was the one getting up. I was the one going and putting a movie on because she would refuse to sleep. She would just ask me, please, can we go and put Shrek on? So I would go downstairs and put Shrek on for her and put it very low so I didn't wake up the rest of the house. So I was the one seeing all of these reactions, I believe, to what was going on. So I started getting more and more upset. I started getting more and more anxious because I started seeing more and more bizarre behavior. And, I did write everything down, but I've lost it along the way, if you knew my life. So yeah, there were just so many bizarre incidences that you couldn't explain, but my family literally ignored all of them. So because I said something, my sister told her ex what I had told, what I'd brought up. My sister told her ex and his father. So all of a sudden, my sister, this guy, started love bombing my sister and was like, I want you back. I want to get married. I want us to move in together, and I was like, oh, my living soul. Because I had said this, all of a sudden she wanted my sister back, which was a coincidence, wasn't it?